is tijd voor de tweede halve finale van de Dutch Darts Masters 2018 hier in de IJsselhallen in Zwolle. Allereerst een warm welkom voor de man uit Noord-Ierland, de huidige World Grand Prix kampioen, Superchin, Gurney!
Touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Good times never seem so good.
En dan is het ook meteen tijd om de tegenstander van Daryl deze kant op te halen. Een man die hier geen introductie behoeft. De nummer 1 van de plaatsingslijst. De nummer 1 van de wereld. De huidige viervoudig en verdedigend Dutch Darts Master. Mighty Mike. Michael van Gerwen.
Semi-final number 2 here at the Dutch Darts Masters 2018. Michael van Gerwen is 2 wins away from a 24th European Tour title. Daryl Gurney is 2 wins away from a first. The Ulsterman went close in this tournament 2 years ago, losing to Van Gerwen in the final in Venray. And who knows, maybe this year's final in Zwolle will feature a man from Northern Ireland and one from the Irish Republic. Then again, Michael van Gerwen in front of his home crowd will be very, very keen to deliver. He is the 4-time defending champion, and there were just signs of life from Michael van Gerwen in his quarter-final win. An average of 102.78, suggesting he is moving in the right direction. Nowhere near the figures that he produced last weekend, but MVG, he knows how to do enough. I'm Rob Malarkey, Dan Dawson alongside me for the second semi-final, and the right Dan to face Steve Lennon in the final. Who'd have thought I'd be saying that?
It could be the All-Ireland final. It could well be, because look at the stats. MVG, tournament average 96.4, only hitting 1 in 3 darts at double. Daryl Gurney, more than 98 average, 58% on doubles.
Game on.
They met in the Premier League last month. It went all the way to a last leg. It ended as a draw.
140.
Daryl Gurney actually had a look at 156 checkout in that last leg. He'd already taken out 156 checkout in that match. Had he repeated the feat, he would have beaten MVG.
100.
And it would have been his first win over Mighty Mike since his victory on the Euro Tour back in October 2016. That was the German Darts Championship, the one won by Alan Norris. Van Gerwen is on a ridiculous run. He has won every single final he has played in the last 20. This may be the last chance he gets to stop him. Steve Lennon could produce a miracle. He could do. He's going to need the performance of his life to beat whoever comes through this one.
60. 125.
Yeah, an astonishing achievement by Steve Lennon. Tops for Van Gerwen.
105.
only made his European Tour debut last year, Steve Lennon. He is through to the final
90.
of the Dutch Darts Masters.
20.
Michael van Gerwen looking at double 10 here now. And he's got plenty in hand as well.
First leg, Michael van Gerwen. Second leg, Darryl to throw first.
13-2, I think, the head-to-head standings in favour of MVG.
Yeah, and that one draw as well. He has won 7 in a row
81.
since that loss in the German Darts Championship back end of 2016, and then of course that draw in the Premier League last month.
140.
So it is a long while since Daryl Gurney beat MVG, but he has got close. World Series of Darts finals, he was only beaten 11-8 in the semis. The final of the US Darts Masters in Vegas last year, Daryl Gurney looked like he might be able to claim his first big stage title. He was only beaten 8-6 in the final by
140.
MVG in that one. He played fantastically in Vegas.
Just going back to that defeat for MVG in Hildesheim in October 2016. After that, Van Gerwen went on an incredible run, I think, of 34 matches without defeat, and the run was eventually ended by Richie Edhouse in the UK Open qualifiers at the start of 2017. It was an unbelievable response by MVG. But that's the sort of thing he does.
58. Michael 122.
Daryl Gurney playing in his second semi-final on the European Tour this year. He lost to Van Gerwen 7-3 in the German Darts Grand Prix in Munich.
134.
Yeah, didn't really get close in that one, and it's a very real possibility that the same happens here. Early days, I know.
40.
But this has to go for Daryl Gurney to hold his throne. Great dart, double 16 now. His finishing's been excellent this weekend.
He shows in the second
And it's
leg.
pretty excellent there, although he seemed to question that when you put it to him at the conclusion of his previous match. He seemed a little bit...
Didn't seem to realise, did he?
Didn't seem to realise, seemed a bit confused by the question, but it has been good. It's been very good.
Well, nearly 60% for the weekend is world class.
$134.
MVG has only dropped 6 legs this weekend so far. A 7th, including the one that Daryl Gurney's just won, and he's got himself back in this one here.
100.
What kind of a setup shot have you got, Daryl?
$95. Michael 130.
Same equation for both men. 1 treble needed. Oh, now then.
Yeah, sharp outtake of breath there for Michael van Gerwen as he strays into the single one. Let's see how Gurney fares here.
Awkward.
Finds
Not
it.
too awkward. That was a whisker away.
Michael 190.
Oh, double-double then. Is it in? No, it isn't.
Camera obscura there, Dan couldn't see, but it wasn't in.
Well, he did not get a dart for the leg, and that is Michael van Gerwen, either supremely confident or a little foolhardy. And he's got away with it. Van Gerwen could have started in the 20s and guaranteed a dart at the bullseye in that last visit. As it is, he gets double 18 or double 9. Oh, now then!
This is just unravelling here for Michael van Gerwen. We've talked about game management a bit this weekend as well, and a bit of an illustration there about it from Michael van Gerwen as Gurney takes out double 2. Maybe thought it was worth a go with it being 1 apiece, early stages of a semi-final to perhaps have a go at the double-double, just to sort of lay down a bit of a psychological marker, but well, you've got to play your percentages, I think, in that sort of situation.
Well, Daryl Gurney's got the breaker throw here. Crowd trying to lift the #1 in the world, the reigning Dutch Darts Master, the man who's won this title 4 years on the spin.
59.
Oh, yeah. Absolute roar from Michael van Gerwen. Come on, Mikey. Not happy.
Clearly not happy. Would you say the win over Anderson was a step in the right direction for him? It was an improvement, I think.
Well, his best average of the weekend, 102.
There were still one or two
100
moments.
The thing is, we've seen it on the Euro Tour this year with Michael van Gerwen. Even when he's won tournaments, there have been times when he's just looked like he's lacked focus and he's got a little bit bored, and he was throwing exhibition darts against Peter Wright in the final of one of these. That's more like it from MVG.
133.
Chris Murphy made the point earlier on that he'll be looking around all the other players left in this tournament and he'll be thinking, none of these have beaten me this year.
85.
And he may genuinely think that none of them can beat him. He is in that kind of mood. He's just coming into this. I know he lost to Gary Anderson on Thursday in the Premier League.
134.
His dominance last weekend on the Euro Tour was such that he probably thinks he can do anything. It doesn't matter what routes he goes. It doesn't matter. He can throw exhibition shots and checkouts, and he's still going to win. And he's missed a big number. What is going on, MVG?
I've never seen Michael van Gerwen react like this, to be honest, during a Euro Tour event. Barking at himself,
35.
shaking his head. The body language is like I've never seen before. He's constantly giving himself a dressing down.
He looks
Rubbing his
tired
eyes.
and
He
lazy
does look a little bit jaded here as well. He's rubbing his eyes. He's trying to sort of get himself going again here. Gurney's loving this. He's got a dart at tops for a 3-1 lead, a hold of throw. Van Gerwen is waiting in the wings just in case.
60.
And Van Gerwen will get the chance.
40.
Van Gerwen being Van Gerwen, even when he's, well, it's not happening for him, but it's still 2 apiece.
And I think that celebration there for Michael van Gerwen is as much for his benefit as the crowd's, just to try and get a bit more energy and a bit more life into things, because, as you say, jaded is probably the accurate word. He feels like he's just going through the motions, and so far this weekend, going through the motions has been fine, because Terry Jenkins didn't challenge him. He won 6-0. Darren Webster, I mean, he got close, and he could have taken it to a last leg where he'd have the throw, but he still only averaged 91, and he got that game 1-6-4, Michael van Gerwen. Kyle Anderson, he's won that relatively comfortably. Yes, his best performance of the weekend, but 102 average is not van Gerwen's, you know, he's not his A game, any stretch of the imagination.
96.
And Gurney, if he finishes well, he's got a chance here. And his finishing has been excellent so far this weekend, but that one dart miss there for a 3-1 lead could come back to haunt him.
57.
Gurney may just have to treat this as a sort of another Premier League occasion, but on a smaller scale. We're in a smaller arena. First to 7, of course, like the Premier League. 7-2 to Van Gerwen in week 4, 6-6 in week 13.
108. So you require 81.
Double 13. And that is bang in the middle of the double 13 for Darryl Gurney. And he breaks back again. And even there, MVG has gone last start into the double 18 to leave tops, which is a risky one, because if he misses outside, he'd have only come back looking at 76 and might only get 1 dart for the leg. And it's just, this is the sort of MVG which we saw when he played that final with Peter Wright in the second Euro Tour event of the year, where he won it, yes, but he did so kind of mucking about.
And but for that missed dart at tops in the previous leg, Gurney could have found himself 4-1 up here.
140.
As it is, I think he would have gratefully accepted 3-2 with a break after the first 5 legs if he'd offered it in at the start of play.
And Darryl Gurney is managing to lead the world #1 here, despite averaging 85, well, 87 now.
100.
He's about 8 points lower than MVG's average. It's just a very, very strange evening session we're seeing here. That's much more like it.
77.
Gurney loves a good tussle like this, though, a good street fighting player that he is.
139.
And that keeps himself going and keeps himself very interested here. Van Gerwen looking at 85, but double 14 now.
57.
He's off the mark again.
So you require 78.
Wasn't far away, but far enough here.
Double 12. Great marker.
54.
But does not use it. We've not seen that very much this weekend from Daryl Gurney.
Back to double 14. Down for double 7.
14.
Well,
So you require 24.
3 more missed darts at a double for Michael Van Gerwen on the Gurney throw.
Are you sure this is
And this time Gurney, well, you can hear a pin drop after that one.
Michael to throw
Crowd of
first.
4,000 here, but it's all gone silent because Michael Van Gerwen is 4-2 down.
60.
He's a breakdown, and he started off with just 60 there as well. And maybe, just maybe, Irish eyes could be smiling tonight as Daryl Gurney begins to threaten the possibility of an all-Ireland final.
We've had the all-Welsh final on the Euro Tour this year when Gerwyn Price was beaten by the ferret Johnny Clayton in Graz.
But it could well be that the man from the northern parts of the island in Derry was up against the man from Carlow, 24-year-old Steve Lennon.
Oh, lovely.
133.
Well, had he found another one in the treble 19, he would have left the 170, and I can guarantee that MVG would have gone for it, given the chance. I think Daryl Gurney is probably resigning himself to this leg being lost, but MVG is missing his doubles, and he was missing his doubles against
23.
well, a lot of players this weekend. In fact, everybody, because he's only averaging 33% on his doubles, and he's now having poor scoring visits. He's not even left to finish.
Missing his trebles as well. That was another. Well, I've never seen anything like it from Van Gerwen. Just in terms of the way he just looks. But still, you wouldn't write him off. 185.
140.
Good recovery by MVG.
But with the way he's finishing, Gurney might still sneak this. Oh, he's nearly put that in the 7. And that's wide as well. And Michael Van Gerwen, who is this man? This is not the same man who dominated in Sindelfingen last weekend. This is not the same man who's finished top of the Premier League every single year that he's been in it. This weekend has been very, very lackadaisical. And 5-2 Gurney, 2 legs away from his first win against MVG in almost 2 years. And Van Gerwen genuinely doesn't look like he knows how to turn this around at the minute. He looks a bit confused.
Oh, look at that, 14 missed darts at a double tonight alone. He had 19 missed darts at a double in that match against Darren Webster earlier today. Gurney 5-2 to the good.
72.
Gurney has only won 1 leg, a 5-visit leg. Everything else is 6 visits to the board. That is why his average is only at 88. And yet it is enough to have a pretty commanding lead against MVG. 174 for Van Gerwen.
Yeah, look at that, leading as he does 5-2 with an average of just over 88 as well.
Well, I tell you what, this could kill him off. This could genuinely kill Van Gerwen off. Treble 17 and bull, if he went for it. Does not matter, leaves himself 3 darts at double 12. A baffling, confusing performance from MVG.
And this would really silence the crowd. 1 or 2 rogue whistles and boos around the Eiselhalle here for Daryl Gurney. He's missed double 12. Van Gerwen, lifeline here for MVG.
Is it tops?
Has to be. There's one.
80.
but not
Now
number
you
2.
require 12.
Well, he was nowhere near with any of his attempts
Thank
at
you.
double 12, Darryl Gurney. Double 6 now. He is
He's
one
on the
leg
leg
away from ending Michael van Gerwen's reign as the Dutch darts master. He has won this title 4 years on the spin. Nobody has dominated a particular Euro Tour event like Michael van Gerwen has dominated the Dutch darts masters.
And look at that, he's kicked off with 57 as well. Further encouragement for Gurney if he can pounce. One more of those would do very nicely indeed.
95.
Just the wrong side. But he has a slender cushion here. Van Gerwen again just struggling for trebles.
94.
He's got one there.
Gurney averaged 100 against him in the Premier League. It wasn't enough to win. It was only a draw. He averaged near 100 against him in the final of the US Darts Masters. It wasn't enough. He was beaten. He's averaging 88. And he's battering the world champ because he just cannot get the job done, Van Gerwen. And he looks almost resigned to his fate. Usually when he goes behind, he puts on the afterburners and he finds his best stuff. But here, he just looks like there's nothing left in the
60.
tank.
Yeah, he just looks a little bit lost for answers here. And sooner or later,
138.
you keep expecting Van Gerwen to come up with a response, but he's running out of time. He's running out of legs here. This would be a hold of throw, so it wouldn't be necessarily
58.
too damaging for Darryl Gurney if Van Gerwen were to win this leg. One more of those for tops. That's more like it from Michael van Gerwen, a bit more fluent, but still has so much work to do here. He's got to win the next 4.
Darryl Gurney has the throw in 2 of the 4 possible remaining legs. A 12-darter wins him
100.
this game. A first win over MVG for nearly 2 years. Puts him into a Euro Tour final where he would be the heavy favourite against Steve Lennon. But maybe Van Gerwen is making some kind of a move, mounting some kind of a challenge now.
100.
Gurney will be brutally aware of what Van Gerwen can do and how he can hit back, and the crowd gasping every time he misses a treble now. He doesn't like that either, and the crowd have further encouragement here.
40.
And already this might be the opportunity for Van Gerwen to claim 1 break back. He needs 2. Oh, well, that just about sums up his night. He's still not down to a finish. Now, Gurney can get back on terms here. Come on, he says. Maybe, just maybe, the crowd are playing a part here now. Still unable to really press home his advantage here, Michael van Gerwen. Gurney still has an outside chance.
100. Off you go, 120.
Darryl Gurney is just 104 points away from a huge result. Bullseye. 84. And he has missed it, yeah, by that much, Michael. 1 treble needed for Gurney. He has it. And he misses the double 12 by a fraction.
Well, he was a lot closer than before, but it's a miss that still enables Michael van Gerwen to step up to the plate and claim another leg. 6-2 becomes 6-4. A hold of throw here for 6-5, and now, maybe just now, Michael van Gerwen will come to life in this semi-final.
We have waited 11 legs for an MVG 180. He has hit a couple of 177s and a 174.
And maybe
brought the crowd to life.
140.
Yeah, 180, 140. Darryl Gurney is getting a little bit hot under the collar here. He's got 4,000 Dutchmen breathing down his neck as well.
100.
Well, it's almost like he's cleared the final hurdle in the Grand National, but he can just feel Van Gerwen coming up behind him on the run-in. 15-length lead, but it's reducing all the time here. He's closing in as the finish line approaches. Would have liked to have got the job done there and then, Michael Van Gerwen, just to give himself a bit more impetus. But this should become 6-5. And Daryl Gurney will be getting very, very edgy indeed.
135. Michael, you have won 9.
It is 6-5.
This is the leg for Daryl Gurney. A 12-darter will win him the match.
What he would give for a ton 40 here, or something similar. Oh, just the wrong side of the bed. It's 98. What has Van Gerwen got in response?
135.
3 trebles, one of them not the one he wanted.
It has still not got the energy of a typical Michael Van Gerwen performance.
100.
But he has raised his game.
$46.
You always feel there's a poor visit round the corner, don't you? And there's one, and it just hands the initiative to Gurney, who should start in the 19s. And he may leave a finish, you know. Can he force another in the treble? Oh, he has a bounce out. I think it only bounced out of the single 19, but it does offer an opportunity that Van Gerwen typically would seize. But this is not a typical Michael Van Gerwen tonight.
Those 19 points could still make a difference here, especially if Gurney struggles for numbers once again. 25 from 2 darts.
44.
Well, had he had those, well, he would have been on 164, so it could have made a difference. But Van Gerwen comes good again, as Michael Van Gerwen so often has in the past.
This could have been over. Daryl Gurney missed double 12 for a 7-3 win. He could be preparing for a final against the world number 51 Steve Lennon, who's never made a senior final until today. Oh, Van Gerwen 25 and ball. Could he? Oh my word.
37.
Gurney gets another chance, and it may be the bullseye that he ends up looking at for the match. He's already missed 1 dart at double 12. This might be the one chance he gets. 2 darts. Miss them, and Van Gerwen will probably take out the 43 and have the throw in the decider. And he has missed them.
69. Michael, you have won 43.
Wow. Daryl Gurney missed opportunities again. Van Gerwen double 16. You know the rest. We are into a decider. We are into a 13th leg. Michael Van Gerwen could be on the verge of something really special, and one of the greatest fightbacks on the European Tour. And the aspiration for a 24th European Tour title is still very much alive here. And he kicks off with 1, 2, 3.
23.
Michael Van Gerwen benefited in the first Euro Tour event of the year in Leverkusen from the increased format. Peter Wright was first to 6 legs, he was first to 7 legs, but in the final Michael Van Gerwen beat him 8-7. Here in the semis, Daryl Gurney was 6-2 up.
140.
The increased format may have saved him again. And as stunning as this fight back has been, or as dramatic as this fight back has been, Van Gerwen, having won what he called perhaps his best ever tournament last weekend, may be about to go and claim a title with perhaps his worst ever tournament win. He's got a tournament average around about the 95 mark. But he's going to get match darts and loads of them, and I don't even know how he's managed to do it. But he's had some help from the Northern Irishman, Super Chin, who just could not get over the line. 3 match darts missed, and Van Gerwen's going to get at least 3, probably loads more.
More roll of the eyes for Daryl Gurney. He looks a beaten man here. Michael Van Gerwen steps up to the plate. to finish off what would be one of the most unbelievable fight backs on the European Tour. He's not there yet, but he's there now. And look at the reaction from Michael van Gerwen. What a moment, what a fight back, what a performance. And spare a thought for Daryl Gurney. So close to securing his place in a European Tour final once again. But that first European Tour title remains elusive for the man from Northern Ireland. We will not have the All-Irish final in Zwolle this weekend. You can see the response, you can hear the response from Michael van Gerwen. That was very special indeed in terms of the nature of the fight back. But Michael van Gerwen at times just looks unrecognisable. He will have to put in some improvement in the final, you feel, even though he's up against the unseeded Steve Lennon. Steve Lennon also needs to find something extra as well, you feel. It should be one heck of an occasion, and it should provide us either way with a great story here in Zwolle this weekend. Absolutely breathless finale by Michael van Gerwen there. What a semi-final that was. Daryl Gurney leading 6-2, but beaten by 7 legs to 6. That's how it looks like in the final. Then Steve Lennon, for the first time in his career in a PDC ranking final, a first European Tour final, having only made his European Tour debut last year, beaten 6-0 in the first round of this tournament in September of 2017 by Krzysztof Ratajski. He's come through the field this weekend. Michael van Gerwen provides the opposition in the final itself. He is one match away from a 24th European Tour title. Stay with us here on PDC TV. The final itself will take place in around 15-20 minutes time.